Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Very, very good morning. Let's give a few more minutes for others to join. Then a few more in the sense, 2 more.
Good morning, KD. This is Prashant.
Hey, Prashant, good morning.
I missed last 6 sessions, so if you don't mind.
Is this your first class, by the way?
Yeah, this is first class.
So let's get started. And then we will talk after the class, please.
Okay.
Yeah. that's it.
KD Prashant is Shiva brother.
Yeah, got it. Prashant is Shiva's
Okay.
brother. Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday only
We
came.
had a chat yesterday.
Okay, KD, take care. Yeah.
KD Sainath here. One of my degree classmates, Venkatesh, he just joined the meeting. So I have given him entry.
KD, no voice.
Can't you hear my voice, Surya? Surya, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Surya, what are you saying? Hey, hi, Venkat.
Hi.
We'll talk, Surya, Venkat, after the class. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay.
After the class, around 12 o'clock. I'm so sorry. After the class, I have one meeting from 10:30 to 12. After that, I'll be 100% free. So we can talk at that time, 11:30 to be precise. Okay, Venkat and Prashant will talk at 11:30.
No.
Yeah, done. So let's get started. Just give a few more minutes. I'm sharing my screen. Is everybody in? I think not yet. Just waiting for a few other friends to join. Just a minute, please. Okay, got my water. We left off installation yesterday, sir. We were at a very interesting mold, at a very crucial discussion, and I think it's very important that we go ahead and talk about installations. And you remember one screen where we left off, so I'm going to share my screen, and from there we will continue. So, Sainath, ready? Just a quick suggestion. So, you know the virtual background that you have, right? With the coconut tree and the beach and the Goa. Yeah, I mean that one would consume more CPU of your system. And just for your kind information. Well, first of all, virtual backgrounds consume a lot of CPUs, which is still okay.
Yeah,
if your system is overpowered, no issues. If not, I'm just telling.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. We face these issues in Teams meeting, and when we put a virtual backgrounds, they consume a lot of CPU and the system goes very slow.
Okay. Here at least we are not doing anything rather than
absolutely.
Just,
then fine.
So
if you are doing something important on your laptop, just a heads up.
Yeah. Here at least it works out. And your background is very nice. It's not virtual.
It's just a keyboard. It's a pure keyboard and nothing much. Yeah. Yeah, so there we go, almost done. Just give me a few more minutes. I was just started some stupid installation and it is still going on. So yesterday's session, I don't know if it caused any confusion, but I'll do is I'll repeat the discussion quickly. Sorry for that. Okay, done. So we were talking about, the discussion of yesterday. Our discussion was about in my C drive, in the media folder, we kept SQL Server 2005. You will also use the same media very shortly. Oops, just a minute. Yeah, you will also use this media very shortly. And I extracted it, did nothing. I clicked and did a extract Okay, and the media is here. So if you go into that media folder, as we discussed for the last 3 to 4 days, 5 days, we have 32-bit software. I mean, SQL Server for 32-bit platform, SQL Server for 64-bit platform, and SQL Server for Itanium platform. And remember, I already told you Itanium is dead now, right, sir? Remember, Itanium platform does not exist anymore. We have only two options, 32-bit and 64-bit. And to be frank, 32-bit is also dead now. Only 64 is available. Okay, done. So I'll go into 64. Yeah, you know, right? SQL Server installation, 2005 especially, is
Can you-
available.
Can I have a little explanation? Like, how come like 32 and 86 both are same? Like,
Which
why
one?
they are?
Okay. I think good one, sir. Maybe I missed in the discussion. It is 32. Why the hell is it showing as x86 is the question,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've
Yeah.
been seeing from many.
It should
but I don't know.
actually show up as 32-bit, but it's showing as x86. So technically x86 is equal to 32-bit, sir. Now, why is that naming convention kept like x86? To give this answer for this explanation, sir, we have to go back to how many of you read CO? CO means computer organization in your college days, BTech or anywhere, sir. If you have not read, good deal. But if you have read computer organization, CO, you can raise your hands. Who are on camera, who are not on camera can use virtual hand raise. CO, RGV raised his hand. Lokesh raised his hand. That's it. Perfect. Sir, anyone else? Sir? Anyone else? Clarisha, I muted you. Done. You are not on mute. Okay. Done. I'm just renaming Clarisha. Done. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't see many hands raising up, but yeah, okay. So there is a subject called computer organization, which in that there is a chapter called processors chapter. Long story short, okay, I'll make it long story short. So first of all, when processors were invented many years ago, right, they were called as 8086 microprocessor. Lokesh, does this name sound familiar? 8086, perfect. RGV, does this name sound familiar? 8086 family of processors. Very good, fantastic. It's been college we read it, right? So it's definitely forgotten concept. So, but 8086 family of processors is what we call them. So this is where the processors really evolved. Like, you know, SQL Server 2005, we always talk as a benchmark, right? Right, sir? Before 8086 family of processors came, it was 16-bit and 8-bit, very old days I'm talking about, sir. But 8086 family of processors have, can you read here? I don't know if you, I can make you read it. Just a minute, please. Yeah, please see, sir. They are what bit?
16-bit.
They are not 32-bit. They are 16-bit when they initially launched. Gradually, sir, 8086 family of processors started becoming stronger, and better versions came. Okay, and this is the architecture. So don't worry about how it works and all. You leave it, right? So 8086 again, Sai. Now this is the logic, sir. 8086, and later on 80386 came, 80286 came. Different models came, sir. So what they did, let's not call 8086, 80386, 80286. So they simply started calling it as x86. The entire family is called as x86. So 80 they removed. 8028, 8028, 80. X10 means 10 times. 10x is what we call, right? So 10x and 11x and 20x and all. That's a commonly used word, something like that. So x was prefixed, x was added. So 32-bit family of processors are called as x86 because they belong to 8086 family of CPUs. So that is the answer for this question. I mean, so there is one more, Wikipedia also, I can show you. So, I mean, whenever you don't know a topic, Wikipedia is the best place to read, an online encyclopedia. Love this. And so few years back, I mean, I think last year, 2019 and 2020, when pandemic started, Wikipedia struggled. I don't know how many of you know this. Wikipedia did not have revenues to, continue the services, and they asked donations to all the people, sir. And me being a very big fan of Wikipedia, I don't know, whatever amount we donated, we all donated. So yeah, I mean, at least now they used to get a banner here. We are struggling, so please donate and all that. Okay, now it's not there. Anyway, so now can you see, my friend, 8086 is a 16-bit microprocessor family designed by Intel in the years, can you see, very long ago. And later on this evolved, sir. Okay, the 8086 gave rise to which one, sir? Can you see this line, last line? The 8086, meaning because of 8086 family of processors, it has given rise to 32-bit architecture. That's the story. And hence, from that time, they started calling it as x86. Okay, sir? Any questions? See,
Yeah.
I mean, on June 5th, 2018, Intel released as a memory towards the 8086 old processor. This is where processors started. This is where CPU started. And Intel has released recently an 8086K. They just gave a model name for this, and I mean, anyways, leave it. Not an important point. So that's it. I mean, story of processors. If I talk this story, people will say you like telling stories only. You told about DBMS, RDBMS story. You talked about SQL Server story. Now processor story. So I'll move on, sir, before I get this remark. Done. So again, answer for that question in one line is yes, they belong to 8086 family of processors. Hence, it is called as x86.
Yes.
And to avoid confusion, they could have called as x32. Would have been easy and no headache for us. x32, x64 would have been much more easy. Okay, done, sir. So now getting into x64, we are dealing with 64-bit processors. SQL Server. SQL Server 2005 has two folders, sir, servers and tools. You know now. Tools will install what? Some tools to access database, some tools. So we will not go to tools. We will go to servers because we want SQL Server, really a proper SQL Server installed in your system. Okay, I'm going into servers, sir. And rest all things are known. Yesterday we discussed a lot. Inside Redist folder, what do we have? .NET Framework, Windows installer, and all that, sir. And today, yeah, go ahead, please. Was somebody saying something? Go ahead, please.
Can you explain a fast review?
Surya, I'll do one thing. So if it will take a lot of time, so to be frank. Okay, so okay. No problem. You will not find any disconnect. I am repeating in fast itself. Yeah. So done. So Redist folder contains your .NET Framework and Windows installer. So I think for some reason Windows installer is missing here. It's okay. Done. Now I'll start setup.exe. This is how you start your installation. Okay, everyone, installation started. This is developer edition, as I told you. I accept. Hit next. Okay, and it requires setup support files, .NET Framework. What's the third one, sir? Native client. Okay, and it installed all the required things and hit next. And now it is doing checks on your system. How many checks will be done in 2005? 14 checks will be done. I mean, just keep count as a reference, sir. 14 checks will be done. There you go. Out of 14 checks, how many are success? 12 checks are success. 2 warnings, IIS and ASP.NET. So technically speaking, in real environment, you can't continue like this. Got it? On job, without fixing that, you can't move. On job, everything should be green, as I mentioned yesterday also. So, but KD, how to fix these 2 warnings? I will tell you later. Not in the initial days. We'll discuss later. So, can I hit next? Perfect. Sir. Okay, done with that. Our installation is starting. Provide the person who is installing me, company name, KDSSG. This is our license key. This is our license key. Okay, sir. This is our license key, and we are continuing. Yeah. Now it's asking you which components you want to install, and I told you we are DBAs, so we will install only database services and workstation components. Only this workstation component means tools, sir. Tools. KD, I don't want tools. Then untick it. KD, I want tools. Then tick it. Your choice. So if you don't want tools, remove it. Just install instance. Just installing instance, what will we do, sir? Without tools, how will you access the, you install SQL Server. Without tools, you can't access SQL Server. So you need tools, please. So that's why I'm selecting this also. All good, sir? Can I move on? That's it. Oh, by the way, sorry. Yesterday we talked about advanced tab also. If you go into advanced tab, this is another same thing, sir. Another view. It's like, entire feature can be deselected or entire feature can be selected. Same view, just like, but some extra options are available. That's it. You can see in detail inside database services, whatever is available. Whereas if you go to the previous view, you can only select database services and tools. A better view of what's inside it. Advanced view. Okay, and okay, fine. No need to go to advanced view. This is good. Hit next. Okay, now this is where we stopped yesterday. And yesterday we spent nearly around 20 minutes at the last 20-25 minutes talking about instance. So now, sir, depending on the discussion of yesterday, now I want to ask you all, what is an instance?
Collection of databases.
The collection of databases or the collection of memory.
Of
Memory structures.
memory structures and background process.
Collection of memory.
100%. So I'm happy I skipped my breakfast today. I didn't have it yet. So yes, please, absolutely correct. I mean, one is an instance is nothing but collection of databases, right? I mean, one instance. If I install one instance, you can have multiple databases created inside it. It can be one, or let's say I don't want to create multiple. I want to create only one database. Fine. An instance can support one databases or multiple databases. One instance can support how many databases? 50. Is the next question? No answers as of now. Okay, good, sir. 50? No, wrong. So we will talk about that. One instance can support X number of databases. Remember, there's a limit, sir. We will talk about it. So first of all, what is an instance? Instance is a container. Can I call like this in easy words? Don't give it don't tell this in the interview, sir. Just telling you for your sake. Instance is like a container. Okay, container. In the container, you can keep as many databases as you want. Of course, there's a limit, but you can keep as many databases as you want. So what is an instance? Instance is a collection of memory structures and background processes. Okay, wait. Let's go to, sorry. If we go to Oracle architecture, yesterday we went and opened Oracle architecture. Wantedly, I'm opening one more time. Don't mind. It takes 5 minutes max, but not more than that. So go to Oracle architecture. Okay. Let me go to Oracle's website. Yeah. So if you look at Oracle architecture, this is Oracle architecture, sir. We call it as 12c. They call it as 12c. And in 12c architecture, if you can see here, it's a straightforward concept that I will show you. Can you see here, sir? Databases, symbol, a cylinder symbol. Database, control files and all that, whatever. So these all are databases. Look, don't try to understand more, sir. Let's keep it simple. So, or in Oracle architecture, you have databases here, correct? As per the picture, I am talking in layman, basic words. In Oracle architecture, these are looking as like a cylinders, right? So maybe these all are databases. Okay, not maybe, they all are databases. Got it, sir. They all are in cylinder format. So database, and database. Multiple databases we have. Now, watch on this front a little more, sir. Now if you store something in the database, you can't directly store in the database. Remember, let's say Lokesh, you are trying to insert a record. The record will not go to database directly. Your record will first go to memory. RAM, because hard disk is a slow device, sir. Always remember, hard disk is very, very, very slow device. And don't think hard disks are fast. Better than hard disk, RAM is fast. This is RAM. Okay. So whenever you insert a record, so the record will first go to memory. From memory, do you see this guy called DB writer, database writer? It's a background process. It's a process. It's the person who does the work. This guy will take that data and write to the database. And you can see all the arrow marks going on. Can you see? Arrow marks are connecting. So this guy, can you see this arrow mark? It is picking the data from here and dumping here. Can you see this arrow mark indication? So that's what I'm telling you, sir. So whenever you want to store data, whenever you want to read data, data will be going into memory first. From memory, it will go to database, or if you want to read it, sir, it will come to memory. Nobody can touch the database directly. Nobody has rights to touch the database directly. Any insert, any update, anything that you do, sir, must go through dash.
Database writer.
Correct, but must go through dash. Memory.
Memory.
Anything stores in memory, then it goes down. If you want to read also, data should first come from hard disk. Data will come to memory, then it will show on your screen, sir. This is a condition in not only in Oracle, sir. The same condition applies in SQL Server also. Whether it is Oracle, we have a wonderful picture, so I'm able to show you, sir. In SQL Server, we don't have such a nice picture. So that's why I'm not hesitant to open Oracle architecture and talk about it. So yeah, I mean, any questions anybody have? So this is memory. So now you tell me, sir. In SQL Server, can you directly create the database? Answer is no. In Oracle, can you directly create the database? Answer is no. First, you need to create the
Memory.
Instance first, then inside that database.
Memory is nothing but instance. See, this is nothing but instance. So, KD, can I access the database without an instance? No. KD, can I store data into a database without an instance? No. Whether it is Oracle, whether it is SQL Server, sir, your base is instance. First, you need instance. So, KD, if I'm installing SQL Server, what gets installed, sir? Instance. And so, you are installing what first? Instance. After you install instance, then we will create databases. So, what is instance now, sir? Instance is nothing but collection of memory structures like this, what you are seeing on the screen, plus some background processes like DB writer. A lot of background processes are there, sir. Any questions anybody have?
Once can you explain again? This
Yeah, I'll definitely, Surya. Surya, this is the same thing that we discussed yesterday also. I cannot create database directly. So we all know what's a database. Database stores data inside it. And you don't need to have great computer skills for this one. No, database stores data. Database stores data in it. Now, when you store a data inside a database, before storing, sir, the first thing that you need is instance. And you cannot, first of all, in SQL Server or Oracle, you really cannot create a database directly. It will not even allow you. Your first step should be dash, installing a instance. After you install an instance, then you will create a database. That's how it works. Any questions? So KD, in Oracle also, is it same? This guy is first install an instance and then create a database? Talk to Shiva. So Shiva, do we have Shiva in the class? Yes, Shiva. I mean, do you directly create database in Oracle, sir, or do you install an instance and then the database creation happens? Just asking so that everybody are on the same page.
Actually, first of all, to install software. While creating the database, it will create both actually.
Instance and database, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever we start, first of all, it will start the initiate the instance, and at the background, data files will be there at the OS level, so that won't be hindered. So the major picture will be of instance only, this SGA and background process.
So, sir, what Shiva mentioned just now is before creating these databases and all in Oracle, because he's an expert in Oracle, sir, I am not as well. So it will create the instance first, then it will create the files and database in the background. That's what Shiva mentioned in one line. You heard from him, not from me. Now, talk to me from SQL Server standpoint. Yeah, so SQL Server standpoint also same, sir. Now, when you are doing an installation, right, it's not creating any databases. It will create the instance, then you can go and create the databases. Shiva, it's a little different from Oracle here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Shiva. So now with this, you know what's an instance now? Instance is a collection of memory structures and background processes. And sir, database is kind of useless without an instance. Database is dummy without an instance. I repeat, a database is dummy without an instance. There is no entry to the database. There is no access to the database. There is no updates in the database. Nothing will happen if instance. And so let's say database is safe, sir. Suddenly your instance crashed, meaning instance went down. Database is safe. Can you access it? Answer is no. There is no medium to enter into database to access the database. So that's all I wanted to bring up. So if you, so I'm repeating second time so that in your mind instance sits that, okay. So before, so if I'm installing SQL Server or Oracle, what gets created is an instance. If I repeat the statement one more time, I know you're going to kill me that, boss, enough. We understood. Instance means collection of memory structures and background processes. Move on, boss. Okay, shall I move on now?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a doubt. So when we Google what is an instance, so the definition what we get is an executable copy of SQL Server.exe.
Yes.
So how is this related to the memory structure and background processes?
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, I mean, it's a SQL Server definition, right? So what you Googled for is our SQL Server definition. So in SQL Server definition, if you go to, I mean, others, sir, please close your eyes and ears for a moment if you want to, because going a little off track here to talk to Priyanka. So go to, I mean, you can still listen though. So go to Task Manager, Priyanka. And if I just take you to details, in my system already 3-4 instances are running. I mean, 3-4 SQL servers have been installed, different versions. If I go to SQL Server, can you see here, SQL Server.exe. Now, official Microsoft documentation, if you see, can you read that definition one more time, what you said now? Instance is a yeah.
An instance of database engine is a copy of SQL Server.exe.
One second, please. One second, please. So an instance is nothing but a copy of SQL Server.exe, and that's what you're seeing on my screen. So right now in Task Manager, if you see, I have one SQL Server.exe and two SQL Server.exes. That means I have two instances running in my system. So what they internally connect is this SQL Server.exe is the main instance. If I kill this, my instance is gone. So yeah, I mean, that's why they put the definition like that. And again, that is pretty confusing for a new person. If, of course, you and I can gain it up, but for the new person is reading it is confusion. So yes, SQL Server.exe controls memory. SQL Server.exe controls background processes. So SQL Server.exe is the one. And by the way, if I install Oracle in Windows, it should be Oracle.exe. So there is an executable which runs it. So that executable controls your memory. This executable controls your background processes. So what we did is we ignored this part and we simply said instance is a collection of memory structures and background process. We made it simple. And the complex part is, yes, of course, it's SQL Server.exe. Hope that is okay.
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah. Others, sir, you didn't hear anything. I didn't say anything. Let's move on. So hit next.
So how many instances we can create in one
machine, right, sir? Yeah. So yesterday we discussed, right? So in one machine, we can have 50 instances maximum. I mean, 50 is a hypothetical number. Nobody will install 50 instances in one machine. Nobody will do. Unless and until the person is crazy and cranky or testing it. But normally we don't install 50 instances in a system, sir. No. We will install 1, 2, 3 max. I have seen 9 or 8 maximum till now. In real environment, I'm saying. So yeah, 50 is the limit. As an interview question, if you're asking 100%, 50 is the limit for number of instances in a machine. And by the way, can we ask the same question to our Oracle friends? Shiva, how many instances are possible to install in a machine?
You can install n number of database, but the base location will be different. But nowadays we can, using the same binaries, we can install multiple instances also.
So can you make it simple for us, sir? In simple words, how many instances can install in one machine for Oracle? In one word, sir. Probably in one word.
You can create n number of it.
Unlimited is the perfect word. Okay, sir. Now Oracle supports unlimited instances in a machine. SQL Server supports 50 instances in a machine. So who is great?
Oracle.
Yeah, okay. So now sometimes we'll give credit to Oracle, sir. Sometimes we'll take the credit. So this time it is Shiva's turn. So that's okay. So Oracle supports maximum number of instances. You can install as many as you want. There is no limit. There's no cap for Oracle. For SQL Server, we have a cap. 50 is the cap. Yeah, even in Oracle, nobody will install that many unlimited instances. So nobody will install. But anyways, Magesh asked this question. So we are talking about it. Done? Yeah, Shiva, you were saying something, sir? Yeah. But again, so it depends on how much memory you have in your system. You can't bombard the system, right? Put as many instances as you want, system will crash. So we should be careful and cautious. Okay, done. Today, if I don't complete installation, you're not going to spare me. So I'm going to continue. And sir, one more thing, please. Instance is nothing but, so now there are two types of instances in SQL Server. Not types, actually. I'm so sorry. I should not even say type. But an instance can have names. We call it as, what are the different types of instances? If somebody asks you this question in SQL Server, we call it as default instance and named instance. Okay, so default and named instance. Default instance, if I select default instance, okay, if I select default instance, okay, if I select default instance, let me show you something. Okay, I have this PC, right click, properties. So what is my computer name? Do you see what is my device name? KDP-PC. My computer name is KDP-PC. This is my RAM and all that. It's okay, sir. So if I select default instance, whatever is the computer name, sir, instance will copy that name. So what is my instance name now? KDP-PC. So my whatever is the computer name, as it is replicated towards instance. So instance name becomes computer name. Okay, not okay. If I select named instance, then I have to give it a name. Let's say SQL 2005 or something like that. I mean, any name that, or Clarisha or Divya, whatever name you want to give them. So it's instance names. So two types of instances we have: default instance and named instance. Default instance is the one that picks computer name, and named instance is the one that you provide. So one small logic here. How many instances of SQL Server you can install in one machine? 50. Okay, 50. Out of 50, remember, there can be only one default instance. Only one default instance. Because if somebody is already taking computer name, someone else can't take it, sir. Only one person can take the computer name, right? Two people, so two instances cannot have same name. So if one instance took computer name, others cannot take it because somebody already has taken it. Okay? Okay, not okay?
Also, can we rename the named instance after installing?
Repeat that, please.
Can we rename the instance name?
Can we change the instance name? Yeah, always. After installation is complete, sir, we can always change the instance name. Possible.
Default instance or named instance. Anything we can do, right?
Is the question from Bharat or from Surya, sir? I could not understand. Surya, yes, Surya. We can 100. So, but let's say you change the instance name. You gave 2005, okay, and you want to change the instance name. You can always change it to something else. But that's a lengthy process. I will show the demos later.
Okay.
Yeah, we will see that. Default instance you can't change. Your
Oh,
computer name, it's taking, right? You change your computer name if you want, sir. Then it will change the default instance name. So first of all, how to change instance name? Shall I show you a little later? It is much later, so not now. It will come up in maybe in security topic, not now. Is that okay?
Okay, Master.
Perfect. Done. Okay. Yes, everyone. Can we move on? So you choose, sir. Which one you want? Default instance or named instance? Which one shall I choose? Clarisha, were you saying something?
Named instance.
Okay. Clarisha, were you saying something?
I don't know whether, yeah, Terry, I don't know whether I'm asking the right question. How to create an instance?
No. See, what we are doing now, if you continue the process, it creates an instance. So what we are doing now is nothing but creating an instance. The process of next. The moment you click install at the last, right, then it creates the instance. Yeah.
You're saying that only one instance can be something like, one instance can be named, then
one instance can be default in a machine, in a computer. One instance can be default. Remaining 49 must be named. Because you already chose the computer name, remaining 49 will be named. Or all 50 can be named. That means you have not used default instance at all. Clear? Guys, I mean, one more thing, sir. Sometimes, I heard this people answering wrong in interviews. Sir, 2005, you can install 50 instances. 2008, another 50 instances. No. All versions put together, sir. 2005, 8, 8R2, 12, all versions put together, you can install maximum 50 in a machine. Okay. Let's say my 2005 is default instance, sir. My other instances will be obviously named instance. No. So Lavanya, you want me to install named instance, right? I will do that. But before that, sir, don't you have an itching to see how many instances are there in my system right now? Do you want to see it? Then click on installed instances. If I click on installed instances, it will show you. See, oh wow. Okay, so now look at this one, sir. I already have a default instance in my system. Katie, how do you know it's a default instance? Because there is no name in the brackets. So this is a default instance. So that means in my laptop now, I have 3 instances already installed. 3. One default one, sir. The other one is called as INST2K19. Another one is called as INST2K19.3 or whatever the names I have chosen, sir. Is that clear? So can I say cancel? And now, anyways, default instance is already taken. So I cannot install default instance, Lavanya. Anyways, I have to go for named instance only. Our named instance is equal to 2005. Any questions?
Yes, the default instance name was the computer name, right?
Default instance name is nothing but computer name, correct?
Your computer name. Your computer name was SQL Server Master.
My computer name is. Okay. So got it. Sir. Good question. So you want me to go to installed instances? Click on SQL Server. Actually, sir, though it says SQL Server, the instance name is not SQL Server. The instance name is my computer name only. My computer name is, if you go to MS Info 32, let me see my computer name. What is my computer name? Where are you? Here it is. My system name is KDP-PC. So yes, instance name is KDP-PC. Do not get confused by looking at this name called SQL Server, sir. We will discuss this in future, in further sessions.
don't represent the computer name KD here.
It will not show KDP-PC, but that's okay. It internally name is KDP-PC only. So
Every time it
default
shows in the
instance,
same like this?
I'll repeat one more time. Default instance name is always KDP-PC. My computer name, whatever is my computer. Let's say Clarisha is installing default instance in her system. Let's say Clarisha-PC or whatever name she has given, that name. So yeah, was that Lavanya you're saying? Repeat that, please. You're muted.
Represent the same. It won't represent the same name as computer name. It is showing as SQL Server, right?
Yeah.
You said it will take this default name. Why it not showing this KDP?
I completely agree with your question. The same question from Surya also. So can we park this question for some days and then we will come back and discuss about it, why it is not showing? Yeah, okay, done. I agree. I mean, I completely agree with your question that it should show at least KDP-PC there. Yeah, okay. SQL Server uses this name called MS SQL Server internally. So that's why. Okay, anyways, later we'll talk about it. So done, sir. So I'm going with the named instance now. We are not going to the default instance. You know the screen now, right? So everybody understands the screen because the same screen will come in 2008 also, 8R2 also, 12 also, 14 also, 16 also, 17 also, 19 also. The screen is never going to change. So hope you are clear, because in next version, I will not talk more about it and we will move on. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, sir? Yeah, enough. I think we have spent enough time here because so that we don't need to spend the same time in other
Maybe I
versions.
have a question.
Yes, please.
Maybe? My computer RAM is 4 GB only. Will it support all versions to install in the system?
Absolutely, it will support. RAM 4 GB is okay, sufficient. But you can install 2005, you can install 8, 8R2, all the versions that you want. But point is, hardware is okay. 4 GB is fine. Yesterday, remember the set of questions that we talked about? So is your operating system compatible? I think your operating system is Windows 7.
Windows 7.
You cannot install 2019 in it. You cannot install 17, 16, all are possible. 19 you cannot install. So there are some restrictions. 5 it will work. 5 will work, 8 will work, 8R2 will work, 12 will work, 14 will work, 16 will work, 17 will work, 19 will not work. Okay.
I have to do if I want to work on
format to Windows 10 and Pro. Windows 10 Pro is better. And how to do it, we can discuss offline. Sorry.
Is it possible to upgrade the?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think Katie, you told off the class if we contact you.
Yeah. So in the lab part, right? When we start the lab, right? At that time we can discuss about it. Yeah,
okay,
done. Okay, done, sir. Let's moving on to the next screen, please. If no questions are there, we can jump off.
Master, sorry to interrupt. Can I get the yesterday's class, Master?
So we'll do one thing, sir. Those are like administrative, like can we talk after the class or with the chat? Is that okay? Perfect. Done. No, because content is we'll get distracted with the content. Done. Let's move on now. Any questions on the technical part on the screen, sir? Else we can discuss on chat also other things. Yes, RGB.
Master. ఇప్పుడు ఒక డిఫాల్ట్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసాం మాస్టర్.
Can we go with for others to understand? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. We have installed one default instance. After that, again, I am trying to install one more default instance. It won't allow.
Absolutely.
So then I have changed the computer name.
Still also it will not allow.
Still it's not allow.
It will not allow. Okay, sir. Because even if you change the computer name, this previous default instance name is your new name, so it will not allow. So only one default instance at any point of view. So it's only one. Then a good question. I like the questions.
Different versions means.
Sorry. No, even different versions, Chiranjeevi. Always only one default instance. Done. Perfect. Any more questions? Perfect. All logged. Finally, we are going out of the screen. Can you go to the next screen now? Done. So, yeah. Whoa, this is a screen which will take time. So, I need all your attention, please, sir. Small request. Attention. So, okay. SQL Server does lot. If you go to Oracle architecture, 2 minutes back we discussed, right? What is this guy doing? DB writer, writing data from memory to the database, right, sir? Like Oracle has DB writer in Oracle, definitely in SQL Server also we will have something like that. I don't know what is the name, you forget. What is the name, you don't worry about it, but some name for sure. So in SQL Server also that activity will happen. DB2, same thing will happen. Any database in the market, this thing will happen. Okay, done. So when database writer is writing the data from memory to hard disk, meaning in the database when it is writing, sir, it needs helpers, assistants. Okay, it needs assistants, it needs helpers, it needs people to support it. Like it's like a manager. Manager will not do work, sir. Manager will make others work, right? As simple as it sounds. So database writer will give instructions and say, hey, you go there and pick that data and you keep it down. So so there should be somebody helping, right? So, something like, okay, construction is going on. They are people who are working, the actual workers, and there's a supervisor standing there. Pick the bricks from here and keep it there. He's giving instructions, so he or she is giving instructions, and the workers are really working. Understood, sir? So something like that. I'm just making easy example. Something like that. Whenever databases content is written or is writing, or you are reading, whatever, service accounts are the workers, the real labor. The real labor is a very positive word, sir. I'm talking in that perspective. Labor means the person who does a hard work or work. So a real labor here is service account. SQL Server cannot survive a minute without a service account. Service accounts are compulsory for SQL Server. I don't know about Oracle, but I am talking about SQL Server. So did you understand the essence of the topic, sir? If the essence is clear, if you smell the main point, sufficient. Let's go to the next point. But have you got the main logic here? So the workers, the real workers in the background for SQL Server are service accounts. If service account is not, can we live? Okay, let's talk about our community, sir. Can we live without the maids at home and all that nowadays? Nobody can survive a sustain few days also. Yeah, of course. Quarantine period, we all sustained, and you saw what happened. So we all cleaned our own houses and all that. And yeah, now again, we are back. So we can't do long times. A long time is impossible. So same thing I'm saying. If somebody is doing great, salute. So now service accounts play a crucial role for SQL Server. They are the background, strong pillars for SQL Server. If you have any questions, please park it. I will explain. Give me some time. So I'm still explaining. I did not finish. So, sir, in Windows operating system, in Windows, we do a lot of tasks, right? You play movies. Am I right, sir? You play movies, you play audio, songs, you listen to it, and you use some applications, use a notepad, a lot of things you do, and you connect a printer to it and print a document, whatnot, sir. You're doing fantastic works in Windows, right? And sir, whether you know this or not, whether with your involvement, with your intention, or without your involvement, whatever it is, there are already service accounts. There are servants in your system, sir. In every computer, your computer, my computer, everybody's computer, there are service accounts. Maybe we did not notice it. That's it. Can I show you them now? Yes? Okay, then please go to services.msc. There's a simple command called services.msc. Please open that. Start run. Okay, sir, run, and click on run, and there you type services.msc. Okay, once somebody is playing on the screen. Okay, so if you're done with the playground, then you can stop. Somebody has drawn on the screen on the Zoom, sir. Okay, I can control it, but I keep it open. So put some message for us. Draw it again, please. Whoever has drawn it, one more time, sir. Would want to see it. Okay, done. So very good. Now it's perfect. You have drawn at the right place. So now, so if you can see here, all these are, everything on your Windows operating system is services. Everything is a service. Let's talk about some very basic service, sir, called audio service. Oh, no. Audio. No. Microsoft Audio. Then there'll be audio service. Okay. So print spooler. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Print spooler. So print spooler is whenever you print a document, right? Any document that you print, the printed content will go to print spooler. Through print spooler, it will reach printer, and then the printing happens on your printer. So I mean, and who is helping send this content to the printer, sir? Can you see on the last tab here? The last tab. Wait, sir, there should be one more audio service. Why am I not seeing it? Audio. Okay. So sorry, not able to. Okay, Windows Audio. I'm so sorry, sir. Can you see? Even a sound that comes from your speaker, sir. Sound is nothing but if I play an MP3 file, audio, the content should be sent, the wave of the sounds, and that's how speakers send sound, right? So it reaches the speaker through Windows Audio service. And sir, Windows backup, a lot of things are there. I mean, I'm not going through each one of them. But do you see Windows Audio, and who is helping it? Do you see the last column, sir?
Local, sir.
local service.
Server.
So there is a servant in your system. Servant, I hope you take the word positively. There's a servant in your system called local service, or a service account in your system called local service, which will make sure the audio is playing properly from your phones and all that. And that means, okay, Katie, hold on. So I'll make it even more easy for you. Click on log on as the last tab. So I just clicked on it. Okay. When you click on it, it is arranged by their names. So how many service accounts are there in every system? Let's check. Let me go to the top. So you read it for me. Leave this part, sir. Let's start from here. What is it?
Network service.
Network service. So if you have to make a note, sir, I'm writing this down. In every Windows operating system, whoever has kept it, you want to mind cleaning it up. Okay. So in every Windows OS, okay, sir, there are inbuilt. Can I use? Please tell me if my wordings are right or wrong, sir. Please. Yeah. Again, I'll put Prashant. Yeah. So, sir, in every Windows operating system, there are inbuilt service accounts. Inbuilt. They are inbuilt, sir. They exist in the operating system. They are inbuilt. So, who are those? One is network service. Second one is
Local service.
Local system. Local service also. Third one is local system. So look at this one. The network service, local system, okay, and local service. See this? Sir, which servant is more busy of the three? Did you notice?
Local system.
Local system is more.
Local
so
service.
more services are using local system. So what I'll do, sir, just for prioritization sake, I will put local system at the last. If you observe the difference, so this will be the orders, meaning limited number of people will be using local system. See, network service is very limited. You see this, not more. These all people are using network service. Most of them are using local system. That means local system is their favorite Ramu Kaka. Have you seen that old Hindi movies, sir? Ramu Kaka is a servant at the home and very famous character. Or again, depending on your different languages, the name may change.
Yeah, quite old movies.
Yeah, very quite old movies. The
Yeah.
Ramu Kaka was serving the house for many years together, so and so forth. So now this is our Ramu Kaka, favorite Ramu Kaka, and this is the local system, sir. And then again, local service is little famous more than network service. So now the question is, these are inbuilt service accounts? Yes. And now, what is the importance of each service account? Today we will not talk, sir. In future we will learn it. But I want you all to know that every machine has 3 inbuilt service accounts. Any questions anybody have? Till here, sir.
Sir, can you show that MS SQL process actually? Just can you scroll down?
From the task manager or from services?
No, from this one only.
Okay, then it's on the top. Here it is. These are all our SQL Server services.
KD, yesterday you showed around a 4 HS key root like local network and a few other, right, which you have run through run command. So is it?
Which one?
I don't remember that command. Like yesterday, you have run one command at sysregid, I believe.
Oh, regedit. Yeah.
To check the .NET versions.
Regedit was only for checking .NET versions. How many do I have .NET framework?
Okay, there are 4 HS keys was there, right, yesterday when we are showing.
Yeah, this is the one. Are you talking about the H keys?
Right. So is it like, because here also it is something called as local machine. So is it related to local machine and a local?
Nothing, sir.
No,
nothing. This
no,
is
right?
completely
Okay.
different context. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Done. So, sir, now, sir, look, did you notice one thing, sir? SQL, these all are, by the way, if you noticed here, INST 2K19.3 was my instance name. Got it? And INST 2K19 is my another instance. So if you are noticing here, sir, everything in Windows runs as a service, and every service needs a dash service account. So everything in Windows runs as a service. If you print a document, if you play an audio, if you connect a power adapter, if you install updates, anything in Windows runs as service. In Unix environment, it will not run as service. It has got daemons, and that's a different topic. Unix is a different platform, sir. We are talking about Windows as of today. After 4 months or so, then we will talk about Unix. At that time, we will discuss. So any questions anybody have? So KD, are you telling that if I install SQL Server, will it create services? Yes, it will create services, and there are servants for you. And did you notice here, sir, there are some other servants here? This we will talk on Monday or Friday. We will see. But sir, now I am installing SQL Server. What service account you want? Do you want to use your inbuilt? Do you see the service accounts here? So I don't know. You can see this or not. Do you see service accounts here? Yeah. But KD, there were 3 servants, right? Local system, network service, and local service. Why is local service not there? Because he's a thief. Doesn't work properly. Oh no, that's a joke, sir. But on a serious note, maybe local service is not eligible. Local service is not qualified. So out of the 3 service accounts, sir, SQL Server uses only the second and third. Is that clear? That's all. So that much. That means local service is missing something. So SQL Server uses only the network service and local system. These 2 inbuilt servants. And sir, without, as I am again telling you, sir, you cannot hit next. You can't install SQL Server without telling who is your servant, because SQL Server cannot live without the service accounts. And in interview, please don't tell that service accounts is an assistant of SQL Server. I mean, you cannot give that answer, sir, but this is for your understanding. I'm telling. I will rephrase the explanations later. But as of today, service accounts are nothing but your servants for SQL Server in simple words. Technical words will come later. Yes, Magesh.
So it is the installation for only 2005 server KD or for all the version?
No. So we are doing only 2000. So you can see on the top, sir, SQL Server 2005.
Yeah, 2005. But is it like the servant concept we are applying in all the other installation?
Absolutely. For every instance, 8 or 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, all the versions that we install, every version needs this service account concept. It is compulsory. Without service account, we can't go further.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So now one more thing, sir. One more thing. I'll give a small example. Okay. You tell me in this example, what sounds relevant to you? Sir, I moved into a new apartment, sir. Okay, let's say I moved from Bangalore to Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, I rented out one apartment. So I'm staying in Hyderabad in a rented apartment. I just entered, just recently gone there. It's a big community. Maybe around 200, 250 houses are there in that, flats are there in that apartment. Okay. I am a new entrant. Yeah, I mean, you know, we all are like SQL servers. We cannot live without a maid's help, right? So now I'm started searching for a maid, for a proper service account at my home, right? So now I start. What should be my first approach, sir? What should I do? Inputs. Give me your inputs. What do you normally do? Women are the best answers for this one, I'm sure. If you want a maid at home, a new maid at home, what will you do? You entered a new apartment.
You will go with the community president.
Absolutely, right? So you talk to the community members, like, you know, the neighbors or somebody, and say who's best or who's available, right? But one thing, Lavanya, are you looking for inbuilt first? Meaning whoever are the servants working in the apartment, those people only you will opt, right? Because there is a trust factor there and they are working there. Do you agree with me? Perfect. So you guys tell me, sir, shall I go for local system now or not? I trust. Yeah, I will go for them because these people are working in the apartment for a long time. And other community members have told that they are good. So you're going with this. Small correction now, sir. You hired them. You went with community recommendation, Lavanya, as you said now, and you hired them. The maid comes to your home, Okay, whoever it is, male or female, whoever it is. So they come to your home. Within 15 minutes, they are wrapping up entire work. Whatever is possible, they are cleaning on the top. You're not getting the expertise that you want because they are busy. They have to not only work in your house, they have to work in other houses also, right? So 15 minutes, then fatafat, clarify everything and move on. Complete everything and move on. Then again move on. So are you happy? So don't you think that inbuilt service accounts are busy? Look at SQL Server, please. Local system is so busy, helping so many people. And do you still want SQL Server to use this one? Think about it. Do you want better person, better performance, doing work better? Then I think that's a bad choice. Ravanya, now do you agree with me? Then what shall we do? External person, right? Somebody external. Or if we can afford, hire a person and keep at home. So this is the beauty of the service accounts. Do not choose inbuilt accounts. No, bad idea. Completely bad idea. Then KD, what shall I choose? So as of today, this is our first installation, right? Let's not go for complex. See, I can add one more service account, and I can hire one more person for myself. But for today, to keep the demo simple, we are not going with this option. Is that clear? So yeah, I mean, we know that it is fault. And Lavanya, we just entered the apartment. We have to go with people only, people's opinion. Hire somebody temporarily. Later on, we will change if required. So yes, service accounts can be changed anytime. Anytime, sir. So if you're okay, shall I continue? Hit next.
Sir, two questions actually.
Yeah, Shiva, please, sir.
Firstly, this one, while you have shown this, these three databases running on the background, so whether
a small correction, Shiva. I understand. From Oracle perspective, instance is equal to database. Database is equal to instance. In SQL Server perspective, instance is instance because instance has got. We will talk about that in a few minutes from now. So, small suggestions. Can you please call them as three instances?
Okay, sure. I'll call them instances.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question now, sir?
So these three instances, what are running on the this Windows server, they are running from the same version, right?
No, actually 2019, this is 2019, sir. This is 2019 and default instance, I have to check. I think it is not 2019. It is something else. Yeah, we can check, sir. We can verify, but yes, two are 2019. I think one is different.
So, you told that for one SQL server, we can install 50 databases, 50 instances.
15, yes. In a machine, we can install 50.
So if we have installed three different versions, then we can install 150.
No, sir. All instances, all versions put together, total 50. So 2005, I can install 10. Example, I'm saying. 2008 R2, I can install another 10, like that. So all versions put together, max 50. So my quota is 3 done now. Three quota finished. So I can install 47 more, and that 47 can belong to any version.
Okay. And the second
for
question,
all versions, we need to put any other names only. It won't take.
Yeah, I mean names we cannot have. Two instances cannot have same name, Lavanya. So if I'm installing some other instance, I have to change the name for that. You're right. Yeah, Shiva, go ahead. So you're saying something.
Just one last question. In that, in the last slide, it was like list all instances. So is there any file from where it means? Is there any file or inventory from where it is picking that this all the list of instances?
So to find the list of instances and to find out which version they belong to, we have multiple ways of doing it. We will further discuss once the installation topic is finished. We will see how to list down in my machine how many instances are there. How to find out was the question. Am I right, Shiva?
Okay.
Yeah, we will do that. We'll do that later. Okay. Now you're talking about once you click on installed instances, 3 names came here. So how did it pick up the 3 names? Where did it know? Where is the information available? If I want to check how many instances are there in my system, how to check? And we will see this later. Okay. Thanks, Shiva. Any other questions, please? So we are on the service account screen, sir. Tell me what to do, Lavanya. I'll go with your final recommendation now. Whatever you say is fine.
Master?
Yeah. Yes, Surya.
Yeah, network service and local system both are equal or?
No, they are not equal. So actually, wantedly, I'm not telling this because, okay, we will talk, sir. Local system has got full admin rights. Full admin rights, sir. That is why everybody uses local system. The real Ramu Kaka, as I said, whom you can give a locker key of your house and say, Kaka, go and open the locker key, get 10,000 rupees, please. Such a trustworthy, you know what I'm saying, right? Admin rights, sir. Ramu Kaka can go, local system can go and open a locker and do whatever you want. It has got full admin rights, full admin rights. So local system is a powerful account. If you compare local service, network service, local system, sir, local system is the most powerful account of all the three. So that's why local system is chosen more. So that's a good question, Surya. Difference between those two, right? Yeah.
What is the network service actually, KD?
I completely understand the curiosity, but just, you know, for our today's sake and for a little later versions, we'll protect this one. So yeah, I mean, what will network service do? What will local service do? We can discuss for sure later. But for today, what I would want to tell you all is local system is the most powerful account in Windows, and most of the services in Windows use local system. SQL Server also better you, sir, if you have no choice, if you want to, Lavanya, if you want to pick the servant in your local community, find out the person who is more famous, right? If the person is working in more houses, that means what? The person is liked by everyone. Simple logic, right? That's why we are hiring them. So we will also hire them. Okay. Okay. Whatever time you want to come, that's okay. But I want you only. You want the best. So in all the three, sir, local system is the best. I said, right, the screen will take time. And only one time. So one time we spent on all the screens, understanding deeper, right? Next time it will not be a problem. And again, local system, local service, we will talk in later about this for sure. Till that time, just requesting you all to have patience. Venkat said, is this MS SQL, sir? Venkat, what was that question? Tota Venkat, is this MS SQL, sir? Meaning, I didn't get it. Okay. In the chat there are
no, sir, no.
Okay, done. So moving on, any questions more? If not, you know the screen now. Very well, you know the screen. You bring your own servant or select inbuilt. And inbuilt, you have two options, local system or network service. I am picking local system. Lavanya, is that okay for you? Okay, done. So I'm meeting next now. Any questions, sir? Last. Thank you. Done. The service account concept is finished. The next concept is
Master, sorry.
I'm there.
Explain what is SQL Server and SQL Server Agent.
Okay. So these two are, SQL Server is the main service. Main meaning your instance. Your instance is nothing but SQL Server. Agent is another supporting character. Agent will not do anything, to be frank. Agent will just help main service account in doing some job executions and all that. So we will discuss this a little later. We have a topic on this. Our fifth module, automation. Automation covers a lot about agents. So till that time, it's two services. One guy will do one task, another guy will do another task inside SQL Server. So till that time.
Okay, Master, thank you.
Yeah, just to avoid confusion for now. Okay, done. Sir, I chose local system as you all saw. That's fine. And let's hit next and here. So one of the important screens again. So once instance is installed, right? Once instance is installed. Once it is installed. This is the instance. Okay, instance. People can, I'm just using two separate options to connect. So, sir, if instance is ready, people will start accessing the instance now. Instance is ready. Databases are also ready. Now you want developers to access or people to access. So what they do, they want to connect. So how can they connect, sir? There are two options. You can connect with Windows authentication, Windows style. Another one is SQL Server authentication, SQL Server style. Meaning, if Bindu wants to connect to the SQL Server, sir, I will create an account for Bindu and say, hey, Bindu is the username, password is password 123. And I'll tell Bindu, this is your username and this is your password. Then Bindu will connect to SQL Server with that username and password, sir. Is that clear? I mean, in simple words. So a separate dedicated access for Bindu who can connect directly. Second option, sir. Divya wants to connect now. Okay. I can also create account for Divya. But Divya, where is the SQL Server installed? In Windows? In Windows? In a Windows operating system.
Yes.
So Divya is an already existing member. So meaning I am creating, so now look at this. Don't worry about that command, ignore it, sir. Now I'm going into my users, Windows users. I already have Jagdish here. Let me create one user called Divya. Okay, and I'll put a password. So inside SQL Server, I am not creating Divya. I am creating Divya at what level? OS level. So Divya is already part of OS. SQL Server is also part of OS. So I am telling that Divya, you are already part of my Windows family. Get inside. No login, no password for you, Divya. You can directly enter into Windows, open SQL Server, connect to it. Or second option, Bindu. When Bindu connects, Bindu has to provide username and password. Divya, you need not provide any username and password. So there are two ways of connecting to SQL Server. If you are an OS user, meaning Divya will use Windows authentication and Bindu will use SQL authentication. So more than this, do not worry about the screen. My sincere request, we will talk about this in security topic. We have around 2 weeks to talk about security. We will discuss there. So till that time, my sincere request is let the screen be simple. May I request you not to ask any questions on this one? Normally, I don't say that. First time I'm saying, don't ask any questions here, waste of time. Because anyways, we are going to spend a lot of time on this in security. 2 weeks at least minimum. Monday to Friday, full security. So sincere request, sir. Go ahead. Still, if you have any questions, you can still ask. So Bindu will connect through Windows authentication. No. Divya will connect through Windows authentication. These are two ways of entering into the system, sir. That's all. Okay. And I mean, if you want to visit a temple or anything, you know, Tirupati for that example, if somebody is visiting Tirupati or something, you know, there are two ways, sir. I know. What is that? What they say?
Normal
what are those passes?
Yeah.
What are those passes called? Passes.
VIP
There are some special passes, right?
VIP
Some
passes.
darshan, special darshans. Some 1, 2, 3 numbers are there.
300
P1, P2, L1, L2, right? No. Well, L1, L2 is our course. I'm so sorry. So no, but you know how you visit this. So when you visit Tirupati, there is darshans, right? Different types of darshans. You pay more money for it. No, you don't know. You also don't know. Fantastic.
Special darshan and normal darshan, I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there are. They call something V1 or V2 something.
V1,
There are
V2.
some-
Okay.
Yeah, there are something. Yeah.
Okay, done, sir. So now these are special route entries, right? A special route entry to hit the to go and see shortcuts and fast routes. So now again, you may ask a question. So is Windows authentication better? I mean, the way with which Divya is entering is better, or the way with which Bindu is entering is better? Which one is more secure? Which one is more better? Better option, sir. These all discussions will come in security. Is Windows authentication better? Is SQL authentication better? Will be discussed in security. If you want a short answer, I can answer it now itself without a second thought. The Divya's entry is better. Windows authentication is better because Bindu, you're giving a username and a password. There is always a risk of password getting compromised. So that's why. Anyways, sir, can I hit next now? Any questions anybody have?
No.
Perfect. Next. So how many of you, that screens are done, so now we're just moving on. If you're observing, last screen, finally last screen. Question to all of you, sir. We have 12 more minutes and we can complete it. I'm 100% sure. Question to all of you, sir. Now, how many of you know a language here, which is outside? I mean, let me look at all of you. We have some people with, Telugu language. We have Tamil. We have Kannada. We have Hindi, obviously. Anybody knows any language outside this one? Any of this? Anybody here with
My mother tongue is Konkani.
Konkani, there you go. That is good. But again, sir, tell a statement in Konkani which none of us should understand. Don't give us basic sentences, okay? Because at least body language will understand. Or the way you are telling with your voice fluctuation will understand what you are saying. So choose a statement which is very complex, okay? So Bharat, then I'll say 1, 2, 3, go. You will ask something to all of us in Konkani, and let's see. Then I'll tell what to do, sir. So 1, 2, anything, Bharat. You had food and all of the basic things. So choose something complex, okay? Ready? Shall I proceed?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
तुमको पूरा जना के कंच कंच जाग इष्ट जाता.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
done.
We didn't understand, that's for sure. Thank you. So would you want to repeat that? Would you want to repeat that one more time? So slowly, word by word. Fast.
Yeah. तुमका TUMK. हाँ.
I'm typing, sir.
पूरा जना के. पूरा जना के खंचे खंचे जागो इष्ट जाता. Yes.
So now, I mean, so why is this context coming? You'll understand in few minutes, please. And this is, see now, I mean, none of us know this, and I think Priyanka should be knowing because you're from the border or something. You understand that or no? Not at all. Anybody knows Konkani here, sir? Other than Mr. Bharat?
Konkani.
Sorry?
I don't know Konkani. I know Marathi.
Fantastic. Anybody knows Konkani, sir? Anyone here in the session?
Yeah,
Nobody.
Marathi can be related. It's somewhat like parallel.
Yeah, that's why I said she stays in the border. So I thought if she knows Konkani by any chance. So, okay, done, sir. Then now again, now you have such a data. So can we call this as data for now? And now if you want to interpret this data, we cannot because none of us know it. We need a translator. Yeah, I mean, I can directly copy this and go to Google Translate. Google will recognize or not. Let's try. Okay, and I will paste this. Oops, I will put Konkani. Search for Konkani. No, Google doesn't understand Konkani.
Actually, Konkani doesn't have any lipi, KV.
Oh, this is awesome. I was not aware of this. Okay, so then you are the only source of translation for us, and Google is not helping us here. So yes, sir. So now please go ahead and be our translator, and please tell us what was that.
Yeah.
One second, sir. Let's see if anybody wants to guess this one. Anyone wants to guess?
I will.
Yes, Bindu, please go ahead.
Are you able to understand completely or some which I think it's like that maybe.
Bindu there, 1 second. Anybody else wants to try this one, sir?
Yeah, you all people from which and all places you all come?
Something you all are from different, which all places? Okay.
Somewhat like, close, somewhat close.
Oh, Sainath is close. Oh, wow.
Not exactly.
Okay, I couldn't
because,
even guess.
As I said, Nakedi, he has got the Goa background, so even Goan people speak Konkani, but not similar to Mangalore Konkani. It's different.
Yeah, his virtual background made him speak the actual statement, sir. He's native to Goa right now. So, hey, I think that's nice, and I think we almost got the answer. So go ahead, sir, Bharat. I think we want to hear from you.
Yes, Tumka means for all of you. Tumka pura janaka. For you all, that means.
Okay, sir. We got till there for all of you.
Yeah, for all of you. Which places are favorite? Which all places?
Okay.
Our favorite, yeah.
Our favorite. Okay. Ishtu is likelihood, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for being that translator. And so now what is this relationship with our current screen is very simple, sir. Now, SQL Server also supports you store a lot of data in it. A lot of data is stored, different types of data. You can store Chinese data. You can store, SQL Server supports nearly around 33 languages. So inside SQL Server, you can store 33 languages. And Shiva, I would want to ask you a question here, sir. How many languages does Oracle support? I think to an extent I am aware, I know an answer partially. Oracle supports more languages than SQL Server, but 33 is the language count in SQL Server. Maybe if you want to verify later also is fine. But if you know an answer now, you can tell us. So now, while Shiva answers, we'll wait for a second. Okay, so 33 languages is what SQL Server supports. 31 to 33 somewhere exactly. So now watch this one. So you can select what type of language this instance is designed for. Click on collation setting. Yes, everyone. And I mean, so now default, see, this is the default option. I didn't choose anything. SQL collations, all these are there, right? Now, if you want to customize and if you want to choose your options, then go for the above option. Collation designator and click on down arrow. All the languages are available, sir. Japanese, Hungarian, Greek, or whatever the list of languages are available here. You can Arabic. So different languages are available. Got it? Any questions, anybody, sir? That's all. That's all. This is just a language collation setting. And now, do you, let's say Latin 1_ general is actually English, Latin English. Okay, sir? It's English. Actually, English is nothing but by what is the default collation setting of SQL Server? Latin 1_ general. Actually, it's English. Okay. And then in that, do you want case sensitivity? Meaning case sensitivity means capital letters and small letters sensitivity if you want. If you don't want case sensitivity, so untick it. Meaning capitals and smalls are same. Sensitivity means I want capital letter as capital letter, small letter as small letter. So these all customizations you have, sir. Accent sensitivity if you want to include. In English also there are different accents. Spellings change based on the accent, the way people pronounce. So those all customizations Microsoft has given. Okay, width sensitivity. Width of the sentences and words that you type and all that. So I mean, I don't want to. And so by the way, first of all, it is not our headache. Whose headache is this? The people who store the data. Who store the data? Developers store the data. Let them worry about it. Why should we bother about it? But one thing, sir, number of collations that are supported in SQL Server, languages that are supported in SQL Server is 31 to 33, somewhere around that. And you can pick the languages that are available there. If you are looking for any of your regional language, Hindi, or you will not find them here because these are this international platform and this is all the languages available. The regional languages are not there yet as of now. Okay, so any questions, please? Can I move on with the screen? This is not a great screen, sir. We just for passing time, having fun. That's it. Can I hit next now?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Sorry. I will select the default one. I'm not changing anything. Whatever comes default. Latin 1, English. Remember. Done. Hit next. So, automatically send error reports. If I get any error, I want to send my error report to Microsoft. If you want to send any error reports to Microsoft, please send error reports to Microsoft. Tick it, sir. If you don't want to send anything to Microsoft, then don't tick it. KD, I will tick it. Will Microsoft pick my error, troubleshoot and send me back with a solution? Do we think that Microsoft employees have no other work than doing this one, sir? That collect all the errors from customer and then solve and automatically reply back? No. No company is there yet. So yeah, even if you tick it, you don't tick it, doesn't make any difference. Yeah, second one makes a difference, sir. First tick box doesn't make any difference. Second one makes a difference. Can you see here? Automatically send feature usage data. So on my phone or on your phone or on all the Android phones, Apple phones, I don't want to comment because I don't know. But on all the Android phones, they are scanning you like anything. Wherever you go, they know about you. I mean, Google knows everything about us. Even if I go to a grocery store and come back, Google knows about it. So they are collecting all the data from us, right? Every data. You take 2 steps and it will know that you walk 2 steps with your phone on your hands, in your hand. I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is they are collecting all your data. Microsoft is asking your permission to collect the data. What data? Which features you are using more? And like that, they are collecting all this information from different customers globally. And they are checking which feature is more famous. I think that's for a good cause, right? And they can work on that feature and make it better. So that's a good cause. I mean, your choice, please. If you don't want to take that also, sir, that's your choice, your company's choice. Can I hit next now? I'm not taking both, not interested.
Yes.
Thank you. Install. This is how you install SQL Server 2005. It's just 5 nexts. I understand. It is just 5 next, but every screen is important to know what is the purpose of the screen, sir. And that's what we did. And now, believe me, what happened? Installation package for the product Microsoft SQL Server native client cannot be found. Try the, okay, some error, that's fine. We can fix it. But again, so installation is going on. Don't worry, it's going on. But one thing I told you in the beginning of the installation itself, sir, that this installation is going to fail because SQL Server 2005 will not work on Windows 10. It will not work. Waste of trying also. Anyways, this is going to be a failed installation. 1 second, sir. There is a trick. There is a small trick with which we can make 2005 work on Windows 10. There's a small trick. I will show you if you're interested tomorrow, but just for your information. Is that clear? So this is how an installation is done. So KD, what is really happening in the background now? In the background, installation is happening. In the background, instance is getting installed, not database, sir. Instance only. Before you leave for the day, we have 1 more minute for the class to finish, sir. Before you leave for the day, Oracle instance supports one database. Oracle instance supports only one database, sir. Only one database. You got it? In Oracle, if you install an Oracle instance, inside an instance, single database is only supported. In SQL Server instance, yeah, Sai already said it, 32,767 databases are supported, sir. 32,767 databases. One instance can support 32767. Did you hear that? In a machine, 50 instances can be installed, sir. In a machine, 50 instances can be installed. Each instance can have 32,767 databases. So you want to multiply by 50? Your choice. In the entire machine, how many databases you will get to know. I'm not a mathematical expert, so I'll do a calculator. Yeah. Okay, sir. How much?
16,38,350.
So these pop-ups are coming, sir. App will not work as I told you. Ignore that installation. This installation is damn gonna fail. Pakka. Yeah. So 16 lakh, but again, so nobody will install 50 instances. So you want to know the real scenarios, how many instances are kept in one machine? In one machine, how many instances people really keep in office environment? 1. Sai, am I correct? Sainath, am I correct? Please help me, sir. In your office environment, or anybody who is working can give your comments, please. RGV, please help me. In a machine. Sorry, Geeta.
Only one, yeah.
One instance per machine, right? Thanks, Geeta.
Yes, master.
RGV, yes. Sainath, Sai Kumar, Sainath.
Yeah,
one instance maximum. Perfect, sir. Anybody else wants to add your inputs, please? For working, sir. Requesting. Okay, good. So yeah, of course, for us also one instance in a machine. So then why are you talking about 50 KD? So I'm just talking the limit, right? I'm talking about a hard limit. One instance can have how many databases in SQL Server? SQL Server, one instance can have how many databases? 32,767. Oracle supports how many, sir?
One database.
Only one.
One database, one instance, that's it. Oracle. So one last thing. Before you, anyways, that installation is going on. Please see the error and then leave the session. But one question to all of you.
What is the number again? 32,000?
32,767.
Thank you.
And sir, remember this is a magical number. This number will come again and again in multiple scenarios. I don't know if Microsoft loves this number called 32767. I don't know why, but you will see 32767 coming in multiple occurrences later. This is the first one. And so now one last thing, please. But KD, wow, then why should people purchase Oracle? People should come for SQL Server. 32,767 databases possibility. Wow, I mean SQL Server is excellent, right, sir? Am I right? Nobody is commenting. Please say yes, at least for the sake of at least for the sake of your learning. Please say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Answer is no, because one instance has memory and background processes. Yeah. If you keep one database, the database will use the entire memory and background process. If you put multiple, they have to share the memory, share the background processes. Is it not going to be load, sir? So who is better, Oracle or SQL Server? But today, I think Oracle only is winning, by the way. Oracle is
Oracle
better,
is
sir.
better.
Oracle is better.
One instance, one SQL server supports one database. Sir, you know, I always do this comparison. Now, please don't take me wrong. Oracle is like Ram. And there's a famous statement for Ram, right? One arrow. You know this? One arrow.
One wife.
Exactly. So one arrow, one wife. I mean, that's what Ram is famous for, one wife person. And on the contrary, we have Krishna. 16,000 something. You know what I'm talking about. And SQL Server is double powerful than Krishna, 32,000 here. And one more thing, sir. I mean, who performs better? I leave the answer to you. Is Ram a happiest person or Krishna a happiest person? It depends on your mindset. So I don't need to answer me, but you think about it. So yeah, I mean, if you ask me who performs better here, sir, obviously performance-wise, Oracle is undoubtedly the best, and SQL Server. Oh, by the way, one thing, sir. It's not compulsory that you have to have multiple databases. Say in SQL Server also you can have only one database, right? Even Krishna's main wife is, what's her name? We think.
Rukmini.
Oh, is it?
Rukmini. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you then. Rukmini, then fine. Then that is, so there you go. So SQL Server also can have only one database. Fine. But KD, in real environment, how many we keep? Wait, sir, we will discuss later. 10 in some companies, 50 in some companies. So there's a big discussion for this. We will do this tomorrow. So for today, we can pause off. Installation. Oh, wow, installation succeeded. No, so installation failed. You have a warning, and yeah, I mean, we will see how to fix this tomorrow. And installation fails. This installation does not work. Okay, so I think with this we can wrap up the class. We can reconnect. Any questions anybody have? Yeah, please go ahead, Geeta.
So as you said, Oracle having only one database, but in SQL, it is possible for 30,767, right? So is there, is it size matters, like size constraints are there? Like for Oracle, for one database, all the size.
Okay, like, so Geeta, you really want SQL Server to win here, is what I understand. But you know, but we will ask Shiva this question tomorrow. Yeah, we will. I am parking this question for tomorrow for sure. And what you're saying is SQL Server, Oracle, one database, maximum size is how much? Shall we also think from the size perspective, right? Okay, we will talk about this tomorrow. We will see.
Okay, sure.
Okay, then I think, sir, any other questions, please? Else we can wrap up today's session. We can reconnect tomorrow. And tomorrow we have something interesting coming up, sir, because now you saw 2005. Tomorrow we will see 2008 and 8R2. 8 and 8R2 are exactly replicas, same. So one shot we will, so shall we directly do 8R2? Both are one and the same anyways. Yeah, 8 and 8R2. Directly we'll jump to 8R2. Right. Yeah. Okay, done then, sir. Then let's finish. Tomorrow I don't think we'll take too much time to cover because all main screens are completed. You understand what is a service account. You understand what is a collation setting, language settings. You understand what is a instance, what is an instance, and what are the different instance names, named instance or default instance. What did I miss? Mainly these
authentication methods.
Authentication mode, exactly. Windows authentication and SQL. So 4 main screens, that's it. Whether it is 8, 8R2, 12, 14, all are the same, sir. Okay. Yeah, with small changes you will see across the versions. And see how 2005 is old, and let's see how the modern ones are better. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So with that being said, any questions? If not, we'll sign off. No questions? Let's meet tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Signing off. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Take care. Goodbye. And by the way, any personal discussions, like let's talk on the chat, or you can call me as well. Okay. I'll be free by 11:30. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, KD. Thank you, everybody.